So this will be my probably. I have 2 more streams after this, and then I won't be active on Discord. Basically, from mid-September through mid-October, I won't have access to Discord. I won't be on Discord. I won't answer any DMs. Um, Getting married and going on my honeymoon. So for about a month, I will not be making any calls or responding to anything. All right, I just want to put that out there. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna jump into it. I'll go over Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol, and then we'll take a look at some coins here. Um, Really quickly, hopefully you guys got into my BTC compound. If this was your first bid, we got about a 7% move from the entry point. And then if you actually compounded with me and followed the play, then up almost 10%. So let's take a look at BTC from a different perspective and what my thoughts are on this coin. Let's look at shitty Mexi. Okay. So I mentioned, do I have this post here? Okay. I mentioned this yesterday, and people will say, "Oh, we're just ranging on BTC," but honestly, we are not range. I mean, like, yes, this is range bound. Here is your range highs, and it's not gonna change. We're not gonna have a drastic move, in either direction until end of Q3, beginning of Q4. It's just gonna be chop for the next, month and a half. It's gonna be a lot of frustration across the board. If we do dip, that's when you go ahead and buy. But like, although we have, range lows here, this is your range low. Okay. Although we have range lows here and range highs here, you could, like, this is not a range bound type of price action. Okay. This is a downtrend. We have this whole entire run up. We were making higher highs and higher lows. We made the higher high, right, and then we failed. Okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then continuously going down. Okay, so this is a downtrend. We are not in any safe type of swing long type trades here. People will come and say, "Oh, this looks like a bull flag," right? This is not your typical bull flag. This is a downtrend. So, what must happen here on Bitcoin? Okay, one of two things. 58K remains very crucial for us to hold. All right, 58 to 57K. Below that is bear territory. Above that, we should continue to just range here. Now, this is your range lows that I mentioned. We need to flip this to support to go any higher. Okay, so for that to happen, we need a break above, hold, retest, hold, and then continuously trade above this 61K is my level. Actually, 61.5. See how we have resistance here? Previously resistance. We broke out, bounced from it briefly, turn it back into resistance. So we need to flip above the 61.5K level and hold. If we can do that, we will make a move up to the 64.6K level. Okay. Until then, be very cautious in trades. All right. If you're shorting, which is the type of plays that you should be taking in a downtrend right now, still be very careful because anything can happen to force us up. We still have that tension in the Middle East. We have CPI tomorrow, so it's going to be a pretty volatile week. All right. So on Bitcoin, nothing has changed. We're just range bound for the past few days. Our range currently, let's go to a lower time frame. Our range currently is 61.5 and 58. All right. As long as we continue to range here, we just put in another. On a lower time frame here. Okay, we just put in another lower high. Always look at line charts. All right, so if the 4-hour closes like this, then we have another lower high, and then by nature we should go down to make another lower low. So that will send us back to 58 to 57K. So if you are longing anything here, I'd be cautious. I do not like how this 1 hour candle closed. This 1 hour candle, all right? It was just a little doji into resistance. Same thing that happened here, and then downtrend. All right. So where could we possibly go on a lower time frame on BTC? We have an order block here. Okay. So that is the first possible point of bounce. And if you are taking scalps, this would be your setup. This is about mid-range. You play mid-range back to range highs, and then range lows, stops below wick. Now we do have a demand zone here that I think will get filled. Okay. So if you are playing this one, it's very, very tight stops, right? Entries at 58.2 and stops below that wick. But I think we will get this one filled as well. So 3 separate plays here. All right. Long the demand zone, range lows, and mid-range. Okay, you play the mid-range back to range highs, you play range lows to mid-range, then to range highs, and then demand zone, we just play higher. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to short here. We already missed the short. Short should have been a resistance. What's up, Caleb? Here, I'll put this Bitcoin here. I'm spot long from lower, so I'm actually spot long 7 different coins, and I'm short Sol. That is the only coin. Now, let's take a look at ETH really quickly. Again, lower time frame scalps. When we have these big moves up like this, right? You don't want to FOMO in, especially at resistance. A lot of these coins were at resistance. Now, ETH is very, I wouldn't say concerning, but ETH is the coin that's currently marking up the market right now. I do not think that this move up is genuine. So that's why I'm taking scalps here on ETH. We hit resistance twice, right? We've had first, second, third, fourth touch. The more touches of resistance, the weaker it's getting to be. Just like the more touches of support, the stronger it's going to be. All right. We have our lows. We have our highs. Now this was plotted before I actually took out, this play. Okay. So here's your range highs, and then you have here's your range low or your mid range. Okay, and then you have your range lows. Okay, which is a little bit higher than here. It's actually here. Okay, that's your range lows, but this is the low wick. So for a scalp, again, same exact candle that Bitcoin had at resistance. For a scalp, I'm looking at this demand zone here at 2674.56. My DCA would be around 26.31, which is the 786 fib. This would lower my average to around here, a little bit lower, closer to the DCA point, and I'm looking for TP1, and then I have the TPs in my channel. Now, as I mentioned, this play is very high risk because we have CPI tomorrow. We also have, this move into resistance with, even though ETH looked strong, I don't think it really is. For us to be strong, we have to flip exactly what Caleb said. I think he changed it. 3K level is a very crucial level to flip. All right. We need to. Whoops. We need to reclaim back this support. Well, it's resistance now. We need to reclaim this level, flip back to support to continue to go higher. All right. If we do that, this is one giant deviation. And then I would majorly long when that happens. All right. Expect rejection the first time. We do have supply zone right at that point. It's also an SR point, so it's going to be a very hard level to flip on the first go around. We do have an inverse head and shoulders here with technical targets of that level. Okay, so if this actually does break out, whoops, then that is where the rejection comes. Now, if we don't get these bids, let's say ETH just turns around and turbos up from here, you are looking for something like this to confirm that flip, and then you will long with stop somewhere below here. All right, and then you will target that. Now again, I still don't think this move up is genuine. So I'm taking a risky, scalp here, hoping for a move up at least 2 to 3%, and then that's good enough for me, and I'll go ahead and close. 2% will actually be a 1 hour trade. Yeah, it's about a 1 hour trade. Then move my stop loss to break even and go from there. Yeah, I didn't like that. So we'll see what happens here. That's my my viewpoints on ETH. Now keep in mind we do have this trend here as well. So lose this trend, turn it into resistance. I will also take a short with my stops above there, and I still think we have one more lows on ETH to go. So I think these lows get taken out for sure. It's going to take some time to play out, but this doesn't look convincing to me. Right? So just be careful on getting into major longs here. I still think we have a lower to go. I do think Bitcoin bottom is in though. 49 to 50K. I think that was the bottom, but I don't think ETH bottom is in. So Bitcoin can go down like another 3 or 4K, and then ETH hopefully takes out these lows, and then I will start adding to my spot bag. Do you think Sol could flip ETH this cycle? I think Sol is a better coin than ETH this cycle for sure. I still think Sol is a shit coin. The community is full of shit as well, but I still think ETH is a better coin overall. ROI terms, Sol is going to be better. All right. So let's take a look at Sol really quickly. So in my last video that I posted, not the stream, but an actual overview of the market, I said I was going to short the shit out of Sol if we got to 160, and I would DCA up to 190. All right. I didn't call it in my channel. I said I wasn't going to call it because it was going to be risky, and a lot of people didn't have the risk appetite for that. Well, we got 160, and I am short. And what I'm looking for on Sol is a breakdown of this neckline for this inverse head and shoulders to add to my shorts. If that happens, breakdown, retest, stop loss would look something like that, and I'm targeting a move down to 120. Now on Sol, we do have a bear flag forming. All right, targets of this bear flag, okay, is about 134, which also falls in with this demand zone that I gave for a scalp long. This is the play for the scalp long. Okay, 134.6 down to 128 is my scalp play. Now this is in my channel. I'm not going to post it here. So if we can get this breakdown, what chart did I use? If we can get this breakdown, okay, retest, you could look to short with your stops very tight, but the safest one would be this inverse head and shoulders breakdown. Okay. Whoa. So something like that. Breakdown, retest, that is your neckline target from highs to neckline down to there. That is your inverse head and shoulders, or so your head and shoulders target, and this would be your setup if we get it. All right, I'm still mega short from 160, looking to add to my positions, and go from there. ETH filled. Yep, ETH filled perfectly. All right, so that's what I'm looking for on Sol. Sol is not a strong coin right now like it was a few weeks ago. It's also still in a downtrend. Okay, this is not a valid trend line. There's no 3 touches here, but I'm putting this here to show. This is what we're dealing with on Sol. Sol does not look strong. And I don't, like, a lot of people on Twitter are saying that Sol BTC looks bullish. This does not look bullish to me. I don't know what they're smoking. We're on support here. Okay, that does not look bear. That does not look bullish to me. This looks like another lower high, move down, take out these lows. Hopefully that's like a 134, and then make another lower high, and then send this shit to $50. Okay. So Sol, I think better for shorts. I think short the bounces than trying to long, unless you're taking scalp longs, which I gave in my channel. But I'll post this chart. Not the 160. That short's no longer valid. Okay. This would be the play. So this is a confirmation type play. Don't just short blindly here. Can we take a look at ETC? Sure. I don't know when I drew these, but they're working out. This looks bearish to me. So this is going to be an ETH beta coin, right? So this will run only if ETH runs. But, you know, ETH had a nice move up. This 2%, whereas ETH 3%. So this is weaker in comparison to ETH. We do have a bear flag here. Okay. Technical targets of the bear flag would send you right into this demand. So if this breaks down, short stops above, something like that. Now let's take a look at the bullish view on this. This is a descending broadening wedge. Yeah, I mean, this should continue to go further down. Let me see something. You got the order block here as well. And you have a mini range. This needs to hold the trend line. So 18.8 is a very, very crucial level. Oh, fuck yeah, we're moving. 18.8 is a very crucial level to hold. If you want to safely long this, you need a breakout, retest, and then you will long stops. Probably tighter. And then you'll target these highs here. So breakdown, retest, you short with stops somewhere, you know, above here. Breakout, retest, you long, you target there, stops below. Otherwise, if we get to this demand zone here, you could also take a long attempt. And actually long this one actually. This demand zone and stops below that wick. And those are the trades that you can take for ETC. All right. What other coins you guys want me to take a look at? Sui? Sure. Give me 1 second. That's a disgusting fucking candle. Okay. That's a terrible candle on Sui. Right into resistance. The SR level did hold. So that's our support. We have a daily order block and demand zone here. Okay. This probably comes down to here. So if you're looking for a long, I mean, it did bounce from the golden pocket, right? It came down here and gave you a nice 4% bounce. The next bounce point comes around, yeah, our entry point. So that's going to be your play. Now this coin looks disgusting. The daily candle is awful. So if this is going to bounce entry around 92.8, a swing play, you DCA down to like 88 cents, stops below this wick here, and you target $1. I don't think it has $1 in it. This is also a ascending broadening wedge, which is bearish, but hopefully it holds the trend line there, gives you a nice little bounce of like 5%, and then you take profit and play it. But that even on the 4-hour, we have a bearish engulfing candle that undoes all that. So this is a bearish setup. If we do get a move into $1.05 again, or $1.04, you have a bearish OB. You can take a short, very tight stop loss, back down. So this is what I would do for Sui. Okay. AVAX. I think I gave this on stream last week. It's playing out perfectly. Supply zone, rejection, clear range. Rejection again. So this is your low time frame demand. I like unfilled OPs better. What is that? Okay, so scalp this one, scalp this play, use less than 1%, swing long this one. Okay. We don't get that breakout, retest, long, stop somewhere below here. You target there. This isn't a strong coin to trade. It's also if it breaks below this point, then it's technically broken market structure. So be careful here. 20.4 is a very crucial point to hold. Otherwise, it loses market structure. But AVAX does not. I mean, it needs to reclaim 22.4 to be like bullish. Altcoins don't look good. I'll just say that. Altcoins do not look good. I'd probably short this supply zone if we get it again. Into new lows. Ondo. Has the same exact look as AVAX does. My analysis from last week still stands. We need to reclaim this level. Okay, got an order block. This is where you go ahead and bid. This is just chop. It's not worth trading right here. Yeah, this is just chop. If you can get this order block, so basically, I'll make it a lower time frame for you. This is where you want to bid. Otherwise, flip this level, and then you can bid with your stops like somewhere below here. I can't give it to you yet because it hasn't happened, but yeah, probably a rejection here at this daily OB. Possible short can be taken there as well. Very tight stop. There's not much. I mean, it's not. There's no strength and there's no weakness here. This looks like just chop. So those would be the weights. And I never give anything at market longs unless they're spot. I'm always a limit trader, so I wait until orders, levels come to me. Whether they take, weeks or months, I'm a patient trader. And that's how I'm going to trade. You have better R&R if you wait for those instead of chasing longs. Ondo. Okay, Aave. Okay. Hmm. Can take a little scalp there. Excuse me. Um, let's extend this a little bit. Notice how I'm just giving scalps. I don't see anything worth swing longing here. Scalp long, scalp short. This was the daily low that we rated, right? Deviation. This is your swing long. As I mentioned, I don't think the bottom is in for ETH. And validation's above 2,800. Then I think maybe it's in. But this is your swing and scalps. Okay. BCH. Bitch, please. I don't know when I'm doing these, but they're playing out well. Yep. Oh, I think this is a call I gave to my class. Yeah, okay. Let's take a look at this. Interesting. Interessante. Okay. See a little cup and handle formation here. I see no clear longs and no clear shorts. This is going to be a weak short. It's also going to be a very weak long. Because if we lose this trend line, then we lose the trend that we've had since the beginning of August. Got a supply zone up here. Okay, so weak long, weak short. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections of these highs. Wait until the flip. Okay, and then you can long with stops. What the fuck? Stop somewhere below here. And you target that supply zone. This has to flip. Otherwise, you take a short, or sorry, a scalp long here. TP1, TP2, TP3. On the daily, see how we deviated back above and then ran? There's your retest, then went higher. Same thing looks like it's forming. We have a double bottom formation. So this just needs to break out and reclaim that 358 for it to run a little bit higher. Yeah. Great short opportunity if we get this trend line and supply zone. But right now it's a patience game. Either we have a confirmation to get above, or you take a week long, weak as in not like I'm not talking about a week length, not strong. This is not strong long. Yeah, I don't see. It's just chop. Chop, chop, chop. Here, I'll put both these. You want to focus on coins that have volatility, all right? And that is Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. That's why those are the only three coins I cover and I trade. Everything else, like, there's no volatility. Like, this is just like meaningless $1, $2 moves. All right. Meanwhile, Sol is doing like $5 to $6 in a day. ETH is doing nice numbers. I know they're a little bit on the higher side in terms of capital needed to trade them, but they have the most volatility. Can I buy a bag in the red zone? Yeah, you can definitely buy a bag there. Can you look at Rio? Oh, Rio. I remember giving this. So these are the levels that I gave my students. We're out of the trade, but okay. So this level held, SFP'd, came back from the swing lows and bounced. This won't run in terms of higher because there's no narrative, right? Like, we had the RWA narrative, but there's no narrative for this to run. So the longer we consolidate on here on support, the weaker it's going to be. If you're looking for buy levels to get in lower, you can actually get in at the same level here and there. I don't think we'll get, a 60% discount, but basically, this is your buy zone. Okay, that's your buy zone. If you bought here, then you're most likely going to take TP here at this mid-range. Again, like, this is just, you have a low time frame range, right? Like, here's your low time frame range. If you're looking for a quick buy, for quick gains, down here, buy this demand zone, sell up here. Otherwise, you buy when this is flipped. You just won't get much out of it because this isn't going to go much higher than this. Okay, so if you want to buy, green are the buy zones, okay? So buy here for a move up to here. What is that, like 5%? Or if we get a deeper pullback, that's your buy zone. But the longer we consolidate here without a move up, it's just going to be another lower low. See, probably go to making a lower high and then come back down making a lower low. There's no bullish divergence. Maybe if we come back down here, putting a bullish divergence forming on the daily, we can get that move up. Okay, here's your 1 hour buy zone. Popcat. Okay, I got two more coins after this and I gotta head out. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Popcat looks interesting. Got a potential bull flag here. Multiple rejections from the downtrend. So we just got to ask ourselves, is this going to be putting in a lower high and then we go higher? Or is this going to be putting in, a higher low and then go higher? Or is this just another lower high and then we go lower? Obviously, this is a Sol beta coin, so it's going to move with Sol. So looking for safe longs, you want breakout retest. And ideally, you like this 60 cent to be flipped, and then we go higher. Very, very crucial level, right? Every time that we rejected and deviated back under, we just went lower. Is this the same here? Right? We got above, deviated, and gone under. There's the retest. So I wouldn't long anything until either this 60 cent level is flipped or we look for lower. Lower, we have this demand zone here. Take a scalp. Stops below. And target 60 cents. Back to a lower time frame. Okay. This could be a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, just like Sol had one, this looks pretty similar. All right. Same exact pattern. All right. So lose that, turn to resistance, then you just wait. I wouldn't even short this coin because in terms of the move up, the beta coins will have a higher move up than the actual coins themselves because they're lower cap. So I wouldn't even look to short this. I just look to long this demand zone there. Safer longs will come above 60. This is just chop zone. I'm not into like 1% moves. I like to get 3 to 4% out of my plays. So that's why I'm not looking to give like those analysts that do these type of plays, right, are jokes. Okay, I'm not someone to give those type of plays. I'm not. Sorry, I wouldn't say they're jokes, but they have a lot of time on their hands to waste. So breakout long, you can long with your stops. Breakout, sorry, retest long. TP1. Breakout flip, you can target the highs here. You can add more to your position if that happens. Okay, otherwise you're just going to hit the demand zone. Okay. Rio is, yeah, it's a RWA. Injective. Okay. One sec. I had it here. Okay. So again, it's just a range on the hourly. We took out the highs and gave you a nice almost 2% move down. We have 3 touches of these highs here. There's no real strength or weakness here. Okay. If you're, I mean, this already took it out. But either this flips this resistance and you go long, but be careful because we have supply zone here. So if we do flip it, it's probably going to do something like this. Okay. Reject. And then hopefully flips, takes out liquidity, and goes higher. If that doesn't happen, then you're going to long range lows, right? It's just they're mid range, and you play the range until broken. Yeah, that would be the only setups that I see. Now this one's going to be very risky because and probably the risk to reward isn't there because like it's a 1.2R trade. So not worth it unless you're taking a scalp. If you're taking a scalp, again, this is for people that have more time on their hands, but this would be your setup. Okay, make it a 4-hour trade. Entry stops below the wick. Now, see, this liquidity has been taken out. I actually like this one better. This one has not been taken out. So here's your scalp. Or you play the range. Oops. Range lows. Taking a short here makes sense as well. Supply zone. DCA within this range, and you play it back to range lows. Yep, ETH is doing well. Okay. So that's it from me. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording here. I'll go ahead and upload